When it comes to integrating into all the modern vehicles, if you haven't figured it out yet, OEM integration is a huge deal. But don't be scared of it because companies have invested the time, money, and resources into developing solutions that are application specific. Today, we're talking about a global brand, a big one, in fact, Focal, who has brought out an entire catalog of application specific OE direct replacement speakers. And we're not just talking run of the mill. How can we? We're talking Focal. Of course, we've got their product specialist, Grant McFatter, on with us today, and we're going to run through all the entire menu of application-specific kits, as well as a couple new ones that have just been added to the catalog. This is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about Focal Inside. And it starts now. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and we're talking OEM integration, but this time, we're not talking about signal. In fact, we're talking about the other end of the spectrum, which is, of course, loudspeakers. More specifically, Focal Inside, an entire suite of products and applications for all different types of vehicles, which are literally plug and play. And I'm not even shying from that word, because when Focal does it, they do it right. Now, Grant, we've got a lot to cover, including a couple new SKUs. What can we expect to discuss on today's show?
Well, Ben, Focal has over 800 products. Well, obviously, we're not going to cover all those today, but we're going to hit on the top sellers in North America and some new products and some flagship products just to make sure that everyone understands that this is not cheap entry-level product. This is serious audio for plug-and-play applications.
One would only expect top-of-the-line and premium performance with a brand like Focal, but before we get too deep into it, an opportunity for our partner SiriusXM to remind you dealers out there why you should be loving it. And when we come back, we've got Grant McFatter in the house, and we're talking Focal Inside.
Hey guys, Ricky Lima here from SiriusXM. I had a chance to speak to some dealers and ask them what they love about selling SiriusXM. Here's what they had to say.
Coast-to-coast coverage.
I love SiriusXM for commercial-free music.
It's a great add-on sale and a profit opportunity.
We love selling SiriusXM because you can listen to the same channel coast to coast.
Profitability and ease of installation. It's a no-brainer.
We love selling SiriusXM for its ease of installation, great profitability, and reliability.
People love it.
All right, welcome back, guys. So Focal Inside is what we're talking about, but perhaps we should start from the beginning, and that is why Focal Inside to begin with. I mean, Focal is such a huge manufacturer, world-renowned, high-quality, brand that is renowned for its prestige as well as its performance. So why get into the OEM integration game at all?
Ben, that's a great question. Why bother with Focal Inside to start off with? Well, worldwide, it's no secret that the 12-volt industry is not exactly expanding. We're not opening up 20 or 30 new shops every month or every quarter. In fact, in some ways, it's contracting because the OEM guys are locking us out of the cars most of the time. So with Focal, obviously, speakers are very important. The shops out there, like there's a lot of great shops out there. There's a lot of shops that do great custom work, and this is not to take away from anything they do. This is so that everybody can put this product in, whether it's a do-it-yourselfer, which we try to shy away from as much of that as possible. But if that's the case, does a customer want to buy it, do it themselves? There are some talented individuals out there as well that can do it themselves. So we want to give you a product not only that's got high value, great sound quality, but ease of installation is really the key because it's tough enough integrating with the signal these days. We want to make your speaker side of it as easy as possible. So that's why they got into the speaker side of things, is making it, on the inside. Why OEM integration is to make sure that we've got a home for the next 20, 30, 40 years of putting our products in.
That is some excellent foresight coming from one of the world's top speaker manufacturers. But for our Canadian dealers and any dealer tuning in, really, what is the business model here? Is there an opportunity? What are the lanes? And what is the best way to kind of tackle this really deep catalog?
Absolutely, there's a business model here. We want to make sure that not only you around for a long time to come, but profitability wise, we're one of the most important parts of that with speakers. As far as the business model goes, we talked a bit about, the custom installation side, and not everyone's down for, set up for three router tables or CNC machines or lasers or 3D printers in their shop. So, we want to make sure that as many dealers, as many people as possible can take advantage of this. And the other side of it as well is getting as many cars through your bay. I was once taught many years ago that even as a retail storefront, the perfect guideline is 60% or 2/3 of the product of your sale is product and 1/3 of it is installation. So with these products, that makes it really possible. If you're spending all day cutting out templates and making up new harnesses and stuff like that, that is not really a high profit center. Sure, it's profitable on the labor side, but this product here can add up a lot quicker than your labor dollars. So from a standpoint of a business owner, can I get one car through my shop a week if I'm building custom plates and door panels and everything else? Or can I just do 3 or 4 of these systems in a day and be hugely profitable with that 2/3, 1/3 mentality on it? So I think it's a massive opportunity that a lot of people are kind of looking outside because it says plug and play on the box. Doesn't mean it's low end. Case in point, this product right here.
Well, Grant, here on CMA, we love it when we get our dealers the latest and greatest information. And we were blessed to be part of the launch of what we're about to talk about first. It's fresh, it's hot, and it is prestigious. We're talking about a kit that was specifically designed for one of the favorite sport cars in the world, Porsche. Can you tell us all about it?
Yes, we had the privilege of debuting that at the CMA Expo earlier this year. So we had our friends from Focal, France here, and they had a limited edition kit with them that they brought with them in a beautiful suitcase, which we'll show in a little bit. But yeah, this year was the 60th anniversary of the Porsche 911. So Focal being, very foresightful in what they want to do product-wise, decided to make a kit to celebrate that with the P60 limited 911 kit, which I actually have in front of me here. So on the table in front of me are 3 of the main components that make up the P60 limited kit. So a couple of things about the P60 limited kit. First of all, there's only 911 sets made worldwide to celebrate the Porsche 911. So 911 sets worldwide. We have 5 sets remaining in Canada. Originally, we had 30 sets allocated to us. We sold through all those. We pretty much pre-sold everything before it even arrived. And we've got five more extra kits that we just managed to secure. So 5 of those kits left. I'll talk about the product real briefly. So obviously, being the flagship product, this is the super nice, super amazing custom one-off for the Porsche 911 beryllium tweeters. So everyone's seen the Utopia M beryllium tweeters and the Utopia kits and the Utopia M drivers. Obviously, this doesn't look the same. This doesn't have the big oval flange. This is tailor-made to fit in the stock Porsche location. So I have a few install pics. We'll show about that later on, but 100% made in France. Tiny neodymium motors. All the speakers are 3.1 ohm impedance. So there's a couple of things we can talk about that after I go through the product. Application-wise, we give you a component kit. So a left and a right 4-inch mid-range speaker with the beryllium tweeter. Again, all made in France. Custom proprietary speaker connectors, so you're not cutting anything off the factory harness. You're literally unplugging your Porsche speaker, plugging it back in, putting it back in this new mounting location, and your installation is done. The mid-bass driver, people that have got these in their vehicle, again, talk about this being borderline sub-bass technology out of an 8-inch mid-bass driver. It's not a subwoofer, it's a mid-bass driver. Tiny neodymium magnet, so super lightweight. You're driving these Porsches for a reason. You want them lightweight as possible. So neodymium motors, Utopia cone. This is, can't tell from the video, but this is actually aluminum. It's not an ABS plate. This is machined aluminum. It's all part of the entire basket. So again, super one-off technology. Proprietary speaker connector on the mid-bass driver as well. You're not cutting any plates. You're not cutting any harnesses off. You remove the factory speaker, this goes in place, plug it back in, and you're good to go. I've actually got a few install pictures, Ben, if you could bring those up, just to give your viewers a view of, where these go, how they go in, so on and so forth. So here we've got a couple of slides of the installation of the tweeters themselves. So again, going into that factory location, just a simple U bracket holds it in place. But it doesn't get any easier than that. We're using the factory speaker connector, factory locations for the tweeter, and making your life super, super easy. Next slide is showing the installation of the center channel itself. Again, using the proprietary speaker connector, mounting in the factory locations, no modifications required, no drilling, no cutting, all plug and play. Then the last slide shows the door itself. There's a couple of ways that the speakers can be mounted in the door. Some cars have the 4-inch mid-range in the door itself. Some are up in the dash. So this one's here showing it in the door, and the 8-inch mid-bass woofer in the door as well, with also the Focal BAM sound ending on there. So again, making your installation super easy. Speaker connectors are all done to match up with the factory. No making plates. This job's as easy as it gets. So Ben, when we first got these out, everyone was like, great, it's 911. It's kind of limited application market. Well, as you can see from the slide, it's not just the 911. Anything 992 format. So the 911, 911 Cabrio, 911 Dakar, Targa, also the Panamera, the Taycan, and also the Cayenne. So you've got lots of applications that you can put the speaker kit in, not just a 911 vehicle. So in typical Focal fashion, they don't do anything halfway. So, you've got a flagship product, you might as well show it off in the best possible way. So they actually ship in these beautiful leather-bound cases. There's actually wood grain end panels on there. Nothing says these are expensive than the case it comes in itself. Nice Focal logo embossed in the leather strap up top. And then when you open it up, I think the angels start singing, so we'll open this baby up. And voila, you've got your two 8-inch mid-bass drivers, your center channel speaker, your 4-inch component kits down on the bottom. You've got all the instruction manuals here. And then what you'll see on these that's also engraved into the serial number on the out of the speaker is the serial number of the actual speaker itself on the plate. So you get a limited edition case. You get one of 911 kits. So this is number 659. Like I said, we've got 5 of these kits left. If you want to, get your dealers, your customers, a beautiful sounding set of speakers with the nice suitcase. But presentation, I think, is phenomenal, second to none. And then not only is it a nice piece of luggage for your speakers, when you take all the speakers out, you can take out the inserts, and it becomes a nice piece of luggage that you can put in the front. So great sounding speakers, and then you've got your luggage for the weekend on your nice road trip.
All right, the next product that we're going to be talking about is literally not only hot off the press, but hot to the docks right now in stock at Trends. The brand new Tesla kit available now from Focal Inside.
Like you said, Ben, hot off the press. Actually, they're actually being received as we speak, I believe. So I don't actually have this product here. It's just literally coming off the container right now. But I brought some of the Mercedes-Benz versions of the FLAC speakers that go in the kit. So we'll show those off to you. These are not the exact ones, but it'll give you an idea of the size, the shape, what's involved in the product itself that make up the various kits. So if you look at the slide you've got coming up there, Ben, is the full array of application speakers for Tesla. Again, we're focusing on the Model 3 and the Model Y because that is where 90% of their sales are on those two products. So Model 3 and Model Y. There's a running joke in Vancouver. If you want to rob a bank, make your getaway car a white Tesla because they will never find you because there's about 100 of them within a 3-block radius. So we're super excited to get this product in, get it out to you guys, have your customers experience it, have you guys experience it, because it's going to make those speakers sound, this factory system sound way, way better. Whether you want to upgrade the amplifier or not later on down the road, these are designed to plug in to the factory system, work off the base audio system, the SR Plus audio system. Premium systems, you can put them in as well and replace them. They're going to make the speakers sound better. The biggest thing you're going to get overall from people that have heard these systems before or in the Teslas themselves is way better high frequency, a lot smoother, not as tinny sounding as the factory speaker. The upper mid-range, so vocals, guitar strings, piano, stuff like that. The FLAC speakers really bring out the nuances in the music that make it sound really, really good. So better upper mid-range frequencies. And then the most dramatic difference is the mid-bass woofers. The systems that I've heard, the Tesla is one of the better sounding cars that come factory, but the mid-bass to me sounded pretty sloppy. So just replacing the drivers, even on the factory amplification, your mid-bass is dramatically better, bordering on sub-bass performance. So, we can take your factory system, leave it alone, just swap out the speakers either with component kits or with the coaxial if someone's not high on spending a lot of money on the upgrade. It's not super expensive, but there's some cost savings if we just switch out the coaxials over the component kits. And then you can also replace the factory woofer in the trunk with an 8-inch shallow FLAC speaker. So let's go through the product itself. The first model is the IST3Y100, which is a 4-inch component kit. The tweeter mounts in the factory location. We give you 2 different harnesses for that, depending on whether the speaker wire is down the kick panel or whether it's up in the dash. All those harnesses are in the box. All the proprietary connectors for the tweeter, the mid-range speakers, the mid-bass woofers are all in the kit. So that is the first part of it. So it's a left and right upper dash component kit. To match up with that, in the middle is the ICC T3Y100, which is a 4-inch component kit center channel speaker. So in the box is just the mid-range itself and the tweeter. Again, all proprietary connectors, proprietary mounting. We'll show you a small clip of that a little later on. And then rounding out the product offering is the IC T3Y100 coaxial speakers. Those can be used in the dash if you want to save some money, but I would always recommend the components. Rear doors and rear satellite speakers is where the main application is what we think these will go into. And then the top it off to give you some real mid-bass, because we're talking about 4-inch drivers, is the IW T3Y200 8-inch mid-bass drivers. Custom plates made for those. You're not sitting hours and hours in the wood shop or setting up your CNC machine or your 3D printer, whatever you have in the shop. Not that it's a bad thing, but for those guys that don't have those tools, everything you need is in the box. So proprietary plates, proprietary speaker connectors, 8-inch mid-bass drivers with neodymium magnets. Again, these will work. They're efficient enough to work off your factory system, or if you want to upgrade to a higher-end amplifier, we have applications for that too. For those customers, I think the first few of those, we're going to sell a fair amount of full kits. So the full kit, you're going to save $200 at retail, $200 at dealer cost, rather than buying the individual kit. So in the kit, you get the 4-inch component speakers left and right for the dash. You get the 4-inch component center channel speaker, a pair of 4-inch coaxial speakers for the rear, and the 8-inch mid-bass woofers in the door. So you order that kit as a kit, you're going to save $200 at dealer cost by doing that. We think that's going to be the most popular selling kit we have available for it. Again, you can add the shallow flax 8-inch subwoofer in the factory subwoofer location if you have it. But man, we are super stoked to get these in, get them out. The Tesla market, especially in Vancouver, I know in Ontario too, the Toronto area, the Tesla market's exploding like crazy. Even towns like, Calgary and Kamloops and places like that, we have reps and representation. They're saying they're popping up everywhere. So we expect this to be a massive, massive growth category for us. Should be for you guys as well. And one of the things that's awesome is we've got full training videos, front to back, how to remove the door panels, how to remove that big, huge, long dash piece to get at the speakers to make your life super easy. There's a 24-minute video you can watch before you even get into these jobs and get yourself familiar with these vehicles if you haven't already. They're available on YouTube, French and English. So for our friends in Quebec, we do have them in French as well. But we're so stoked to get this product in. We've been waiting on it for a while, since the CMA Expo in March of this year. And now it's finally here.
All right, so we've covered 2 brand new applications in both the Porsche as well as the Tesla. Now we're going to get into some bread and butter stuff. And Focal really does a great job by offering applications that have a wide range of different vehicles that the same model goes into. So we're going to cover one of the first most popular platforms. We're talking BMW, Grant. So what does Focal Insight have for the BMW platform?
So Ben, BMW is certainly a big popular vehicle in the Vancouver market. I'm sure they are everywhere else in the world as well. So We actually have different applications for older BMWs and the newer ones. 2015 and up use a different basket, so we have two different applications for that. We have two different applications for the under-seat woofers, but we cover everything you need in the car for an audio system. So starting off with the front components, we have a 4-inch component speaker, 4-inch mid-range speaker. This is actually, if you've touched the cone on these, maybe hard to see on camera. Let's see if I can zoom that up. It's got a grain to it. It feels like sand. So this is actually the cone and the coating they use on the polyglass range of speakers. So again, this isn't a inexpensive driver that's simple poly cone and it's got a BMW plug on it. This is their higher end polyglass series speakers, 2 levels up from what other people are using to integrate into the cars. So polyglass grade speakers, aluminum magnesium tweeters, again, they just twist and lock into the factory location. If you need the angle mount for the tweeter, we include that in the box as well. All the connectors for the crossovers will plug into your factory BMW speaker locations. We're not cutting off any plugs. We're not drilling any holes. Everything is going in the factory location. If you have a center channel, we have the ICC BMW 100 center channel speaker as well. Again, proprietary connector on there. You can plug it into your factory speaker application, mount the speaker in, you're done. And then whether you're using it as a coaxial in the doors or the dash or in the rear door applications, we have the coaxial version of them as well. So this is the L version. This is for the newer vehicles. It's got a thicker basket on the back. There is a non-L version of it that's a shallower basket on it. So when you're ordering those, just if you don't know the application guide, if you don't have the application guide, call up your rep. They have that for you, and you can get you the right speaker for that application. So BMW 4-inch component kit, center channel speaker, 4-inch coaxials, and then we have the underseat woofers. They call them subwoofers. I don't call them a subwoofer. It's a mid-bass driver. Super shallow, fit in that factory location, proprietary connector on there as well. And these are available in a 2-ohm or a 4-ohm application, depending on what system you have in the vehicle. So some of you may have seen pictures of this on the interweb. They have these really beautiful looking Kevlar speakers in other parts of the world that are Kevlar components for a BMW. Well, we're glad to say that these are actually en route, possibly on the same shipment that's here today. So I'm hoping they are. This is a higher end offering for those customers that want, hey, your polyglass versions are really nice. They sound good. I've had Kevlars in my car before. I want Kevlar products. So there's 2 versions of these available. Again, the 100 and the 100L versions, but these are using the Kevlar K2 power technology. So Kevlar cones, the yellow inverted dome tweeters in the kits. So a much higher end offering for those guys that have maybe had Kevlar in their cars before, or they listen to your Kevlar speakers on the demo board, and that's what they want for performance. So we'll have 2 kits available, an IS BMW 100K for the older vehicles and an IS BMW 100KL for those 2015 and newer vehicles, all plug and play, all new OEM connectors for it. If you look at the vehicle application, if you take the variations of BMW 1 through 7, i3, i8, Z4, all the different X series, and then you include the Mini family of products that are also made by BMW, even some of the Rolls-Royce product will fit these BMW speakers. So over 70 models available, these kits will cover. So 100K, 100L, all using neodymium magnets, all using the Kevlar Take-EM plug-and-play tweeter, inline passive crossovers with a proprietary connector. And then if you want to upgrade the center channel too, there is a center channel option. Unfortunately, you have to buy a full kit. So hopefully you're doing multiple BMWs, because half the kit will be for the job in play today, and the other half will be for the next one you do. So there's a picture of the plug-and-play system using the Kevlar speakers for the center channel in the BMWs using the K2 drivers. So we're super stoked about this. Again, we've always had people asking for a higher end option for BMW. We have that with Mercedes. We have that with Tesla, with Flax. Now we've got it with Kevlar K2 power from BMW. The slide that you're showing there is available to all dealers. There's a full Excel sheet that's updated every second month to update you with, what model you have, what year you have, what speaker you should be using. If you're using one of our impulse amplifiers, what harness you have to order, what extension harness you need, everything is there in the spreadsheet, for giving you a reference on it. And then also go on to the focal.com website, look up the Focal Inside page. And typically for most vehicles, there's an installation video on all of them. So BMW in a nutshell, this has been a great seller for her. We're super stoked to see those new K versions of them with the Kevlar drivers.
All right, our next application is definitely going to be one that hits home here in North America. We're talking about Ford. My goodness, are there a lot of Fords out there? But imagine a plug-and-play solution of this caliber. Grant, show us what Focal Inside has engineered for the Ford platform.
Yeah, Ford is by far our number one selling kits, speakers, coaxials, whatever you want to call them. It is by far, as far as Focal Inside goes, number one seller by a mile. It doesn't make sense for our friends in the prairies. Everything past the Rockies, everyone drives a Ford truck or a Chev or something like that. So for Ford, we have a 6x9 component kit. We have a 6x9 coaxial speaker. I don't have it on the table here, but we do a 6.5-inch component kit as well using the same tweeter. And we have a 6.5-inch coaxial, all with the proprietary brackets, connectors on here. Again, using the polyglass technology on the cones, so you get really good damping, really good mid bass out of this, much better than the factory system on it. Upper high frequencies and mid range with the aluminum magnesium tweeter, you're definitely going to get better performance over stock. Again, you can use these on the factory amplifier itself. You don't need to use a separate secondary amplifier. Obviously, you want better performance. A better amplifier will be encouraged. But everything you want speaker-wise in the box, they give you everything you're going to need to install it. So mounting brackets for the tweeters, proprietary connectors for the tweeter applications, for the tweeters, for the mid-bass drivers, even the pop rivets to replace the pop rivets that are in there with your 6x9s in the doors or your 6-inch speakers in the back. And then, I like this little touch they've done. You've got the, maybe you've got the Ford with the Alpine system in it or the Ford with the Bang & Olufsen system in it, and you want your friends to know you've got something better. They give you the little decals to put over the top of those with the Focal Inside logo on there. So a nice little finishing touch to, rebrand it so that you're not the run-of-the-mill factory system in here. I got some Focal Inside in here, baby. Some other things we do with the Fords is a subwoofer application. There's two different versions of it. They've got a couple of slides there, Ben. I believe the first one is showing the ISub Twins. So I'll bring those up because those are pretty neat. So this looks a little weird, a little different. The first time I saw it, I thought, what the heck are those things? It looks like a 2.5-inch by 8-inch oval woofer. But you'd be surprised how much bass you get out of both of these. So these come as a pair. They're called the ISub Twins. You get two of these in the box. You're talking, 3.5 inches wide. So you can put these underneath the seat, underneath the rear seat in the pickup truck. So if you don't want to take up any extra space from a custom box or a prefab box, one on each side of these or up against the back wall, even standing straight up, work awesome. I would say that both of these give you performance of a single 10, possibly even a single 12, depending on what amplifier you're using on it. Speaking of amplifiers, we have our universal Impulse 4320 amplifier that will work as a simple plug and play option on these as well. So you can take your factory Ford harness. We have a T harness for it that'll plug in here. There's an extension harness to wherever you want to mount the amplifier. Mount the amplifier, and you've got a 55 watt by 4 amplifier that'll power the front speakers and run 2 ohm stereo on the rear woofers as well. Sounds really, really good. Serious step up over factory for performance for sure. Even the guys that have got the B&O system in it, this thing will sound way better than your factory B&O system. So awesome setup for Fords.
Now we've got two more products we want to show you quickly because these are popular platforms that are coming in and out of your shops all the time. The first one's going to be Toyota, of course, and the other, which you probably expected, is Volkswagen.
So rather than unbox all these, Ben, I just thought I'd bring the boxes up with the product inside it. So we have 3 main product offerings for Toyota. We have the IS2690 6x9 component kit. Again, drop in, plug and play, Same as the other products we talked about. Polyglass design on the cone. The little Focal Inside stickers to cover up the brand that's on there as well. So we have a 6x9 component kit by number one. It's a number one seller by a mile for the Toyotas. We have a 6.5-inch component kit as well, the IS Toy 165. Then we have one called a TWU. So this one is if you don't have factory tweeters in the factory tweeter locations. This gives you the upgraded tweeters with the mounting hardware to put the tweeter in the A-pillar as well. So those are the three main components. We do have a 6.5-inch coaxial as well, but by far, number one seller is the IS Toy 690. Volkswagen, Ben, we have actually three product offerings for the Volkswagen. I brought out one of our most popular ones is the ISVW 165. It's a 6.5-inch component kit. Again, proprietary connectors, same aluminum magnesium tweeter on there. Baskets are all made for you. Polyglass cone. And then we also have an 8-inch version of it, the ISVW 200. It's an 8-inch component kit. And we have a 5-inch component kit version of this as well. So Volkswagen is another big seller for us, especially with this SKU. The newer ones, we have the 8-inch driver in as well. So Volkswagen, another nice category that we do well with.
And that was Focal Inside / Trends Electronics sales manager Grant McFatter walking through a couple of the latest applications coming out to you from Focal Inside, as well as the go-to bread and butter applications as we saw towards the end there. For more information, if you like any of the products and you want more information, make sure you check out the official website that we'll put on the screen right now, Focal. And for all you Canadian distributors out there, retailers out there, make sure you get a hold of the team at Trends Electronics, for they are, of course, the exclusive distributor for all things Focal car audio within Canada. Now, in my closing comments, this is going to be an interesting one. I want you guys to pay attention. I know there are some of you out there looking at this saying, yeah, but it's all about the custom and, it's not high-end enough. We don't like this plasticky stuff. Hold on 1 minute. There is an absolute market for those customers out there looking for application-specific product that has been specifically engineered to work with their vehicles. We are silly to assume that every customer walking through the door wants a full-blown, full-out custom job. Are you doing them any service by not offering them a plug-and-play option, especially when such a great one from Focal Inside is available? Add to that the multitude of applications that Focal has invested in. It is unbelievable the sheer amount of vehicles that these kits absolutely plug and play into. And one more layer, by leveling up, bringing some of their high-end technology, such as their K2 cone for the BMWs, as we've seen today, or some of their flax stuff when it comes to the brand new Tesla application. And for you guys that have Porsche customers, I mean, how sick is that Porsche Utopia kit? All in all, this is a category that I feel is the future. We see it right now in OEM integration when it comes to getting the source with amplifiers that can take those type of signals. We're seeing it in applications to get the signal out of the factory source units. Well, this is right along those lines where you're offering the customer a turnkey, plug and play, non-invasive solution that they will be incredibly happy with. That's it for this CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM with over 150 channels in your vehicle. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video on Demand. What you love is on now.